Sporting Goods. Ssunday evening in San Bernardino, and we have a border battle in the Northwest bracket. This one should be a lot of fun. Snohomish Little League out of the state of Washington versus Hermiston Little League representing the state of Oregon. Northwest bracket on the whole looks like this. Colorado's already played twice. They lost earlier today to Idaho 10-6. So we've seen 5 of the 6 teams in the Northwest region, and now finally, Washington gets to join the party. It's great to have you with us here from Al Hotton Stadium in San Bernardino, California. Troy Clarity and Riley West here with you. Riley, Oregon, Washington, this is their debut in this tournament, but Oregon already battle-tested. They had to get a walk-off win yesterday over Montana.
Yeah, yesterday was a complete pitcher's duel for that Oregon team, and then right at the end of the game, they had that clutch hitting, so all the bases of softball, pitching, defense, and clutch hitting to finish it off.
All the things you need to advance in this bracket. Let's give you video proof of how things went in the top half of the, in the 6th inning. For Oregon, J.J. Ramirez getting on base with the single, eventually heading over to second. Reagan Hudson drops down the bunt, moves over to Ramirez, safe at third, and then Priscilla Munoz, the leader of this team, delivering the win.
It was textbook softball, especially with the top of the lineup, getting it done with the base hit and then the bunt to move her over, and then the 3-hole hitter Priscilla Munoz getting it done.
Oregon got it done at the plate. Oh, by the way, this young lady got it done in the circle. Mimi Christensen, that's her nickname. She struck out 11 yesterday.
She was dealing yesterday night. She has a rise, a drop curve, a change, and a fast. You really saw her velocity come into factor yesterday, but also all of her pitches kind of have a little bit of a tail up with that rise ball. So just looking for Mia Christensen to get ahead of batters early and just be just as effective.
Here's the batting order that she will be dealing with 1 through 12, with 12 players on the Snohomish Little League's roster. And Riley, you've got your eye on the very top of the order.
Yeah, the coaches for Washington told us that Jalea Wright is the catalyst for the offense. So I'm looking to see her continue to be the catalyst for this team, get on base early, stay on base throughout the game, and lead her team.
Well, last year, Hermiston Little League, same squad that made it here to San Bernardino. They had to fight out of the elimination bracket. They made it all the way to the regional championship game, but they lost to Washington last year. Will they have better success against the Washington State champions in 2026? Let's find out together. Weather has been fantastic, hot, but still quite dry. Still terrific overall here in Southern California. Trying to figure out who's going to take one step closer to Greenville, North Carolina, and the Little League Softball World Series. Jalea White at the plate. Christensen rocks and deals, away we go. Oregon and Washington. Enjoy the game, everybody. Jalea Wright with a big-time triple in Snohomish's state-clinching win over Woodinville. They actually had to beat Woodinville twice after Woodinville got the better of Snohomish in the first game of the state tournament. Snohomish had to battle back and win 6 straight. Jalea Wright, right on that one.
Jalea Wright taking advantage of that count that she was ahead of 2-0. As soon as the ball was over the part of the plate, she just attacked, and that's what you want from your leadoff batter, to set the tone. I love that she got a pitch that was more like we talked about. Pitcher Mia Christensen's rise ball going to be up in the zone, and Jalea Wright just level on playing with that pitch.
Oh, by the way, Wright can be a terror on the base paths. Nice job hanging on to that by Priscilla Munoz behind the dish as Maddie Locke is at the plate. Reaches out, fouls that one off. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. We will see Maddie Locke in the circle. More on her and her family members as the show goes along. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside 2-1.
And you see Mia Christensen already starting to work on that outside corner. She really was large and in charge of that outside corner yesterday and able to get balls off the plate, 1 or 2 balls at times. So you expect her to stay on that outside, but I do love how she just went in. She tried to challenge Maddie Locke on that inside corner.
The 2-2. count full. Christensen, 6 innings yesterday against Montana. Just 1 run earned. Walk just ahead of it. Oh! Bounces foul. 2 walks and 11 strikeouts for Christensen yesterday. And that was a well-pitched ball game all the way around. Everly Swanson certainly brought it. She struck out 11 for Montana.
They were competing to see who could strike out more batters in that game. A ton of strikeouts, some great pitching.
That's ball 4. 2 on and no out. We are just underway between Oregon and Washington here in San Bernardino. Oregon defensively. There's everyone.
Oregon yesterday also played some good defense to back up Mia Christensen in the circle. And I said it in her opening, it was kind of the perfect recipe: pitching, defense, and clutch hitting in that exact order. Mia Christensen led them in the circle. Their defense had their back, and then at the end, Priscilla Munoz with that clutch hitting.
Yeah, isn't it funny how pitching and defense kind of tend to work hand in hand more often than not? JJ Day to short, steps on the bag and gets one there. So JJ Ramirez colliding with Reagan Levy, but able to hang on to the ball and get the runner out at second. Still runners at the corners though, 1 guy.
That was a good job by Ramirez at second. Going with the ball, it was taking her up the middle. She didn't try and do too much. She just secured an out to separate the runners rather than 2 runners in scoring position if she potentially went 1.
Maddie Tani comes off the first pitch that she sees for strike 1. Among Maddie's hobbies, reading good books. Love to see that. Air trying to catch up with the Munoz. Beyond her range, nothing in 2. I've been impressed top to bottom with the play we've seen from the catchers defensively throughout the Northwest Region tournament.
Yeah, I have to give the catchers some love on everything that they've done behind the plate. Especially getting those extra outs when their pitchers have needed it the most. Whether that's throwing a runner out, the pop-ups behind the plate, they've been doing a really, really good job.
High ball to left, settling under it, hanging on to it. Now the throw home, not in time as it's cut off. Jalea Wright scores, and Washington's ahead, 1-0.
I love the situational hitting from Washington to get this game started. Madison Tawney getting a ball that she can just drive to the outfield. And when you see runner on third base with less than 2, you got to think as a batter, I'm trying to drive the ball to the outfield enough to give my runner some time. And when Jalea Wright is on third base, the speed that she has, it helps you out a ton.
Avery Calamusa slashes at this one and fouls it off. Avery's favorite softball player, Carlin Pickens. We've seen her name pop up amongst the favorite athletes amongst these youngsters. Carlin Pickens. Hey, you've heard of her, Riley, correct?
I've heard of her. I've talked to her just a few times.
Okay. couple former Vols. Carlin, of course, Tennessee. Riley West also, Tennessee Volunteer.
And I got to catch Carlin throughout my career, and let me tell you, I think my hand still probably hurts a little bit. World record speed.
Yeah.
And you can tell these girls are watching a ton of softball because they're players that they're circling as their favorite or marking down as their favorite, or players that are playing in the AUSL Professional League as well as on the big stage in college.
Don't start singing Rocky Top until we hit the break, though. 2-2 with 2 out. And JoJo Day at third. Playable, backing up, and just off the heel of her glove. Day scores. 2-0 Washington.
And that was a tough play there for Reagan Levy at second base. Retreating back for a ball as a middle infielder is one of the hardest things that they have to do. She just couldn't quite snag it, but with the runner on third, it worked to Washington's favor, being able to score that run.
So the error on Levy. And here's Harlow Nisley. One steers it just beyond the dugout.
I have to point out that 2 of the runs that have scored now against Mia Christensen, it was a sacrifice fly and then that error at second base, and none of them were hit extremely hard. So she's still getting Washington to not get their full barrel on the ball. I mean, the first hit of the game, yes, against Julia Wright. Julia Wright got her barrel, but other than that, Mia Christensen has been doing a good job of letting them put the ball in play and trusting her defense behind her.
1 ball and 1 strike to Knisely. This one low and outside, 2-1. Jeff Crawford, the manager of Snohomish Little League, this team here that's here in San Bernardino. Coaches Drew Locke and Jeff Wright. That moves to 3-1 on Knisely. High strike called. Count full. Knisely stepping back in and waits the payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Got her looking. Washington scores twice. They take a quick lead here in this game. Snohomish Little League 2. Hermiston Little League coming to bat. PN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Washington with an early 2-0 lead. Oregon about to pick up the bats. Here is their order, 1 through 12. Priscilla Munoz came through in a big way, delivering the walk-off hit yesterday against Montana, and that's just par for the course. Typical day at the office for that young lady.
Yeah, Priscilla Munoz was described by Riley Christensen, manager, as bringing the calm and doing her job. She's hit over 500 throughout the state, or throughout the journey to get to the state championship, and now she's here still leading her team, and you saw it yesterday.
She will be facing off against Maddie Locke in the circle for Washington. A lot of eyes are going to be on this young lady throughout the course of this week here in San Bernardino for many reasons. 1, she's pretty good, and number 2, you might have heard of her mom, Danielle Lowry.
Yeah, Maddie Locke has probably got one of the best pitching coaches you can have in the game. Her mom, Danielle Lowry, pitched at Washington, won a national championship, as well as an Olympian, won a bronze medal in 2020 in Japan. Numerous other awards. She's elite, and her daughter is following in her footsteps. She's got a ton of good pitches. We'll get into it more. But Maddie Locke in the circle has been getting it done for Washington throughout this entire journey for them.
Spins that one, gets a little movement to tail outside and catch the corner. 0-1 to J.J. Ramirez. Ramirez 2 for 3 yesterday against Montana, including the leadoff single in the 6th inning that eventually turned into the game-winning run. She's been swinging a terrific bat, hit .778 in the district tournament. Off the fists, gobbled up. Calamusa, 1 away.
That's a good start for Maddie Locke in the circle. She's working a curve, and it looks like that last 2 pitches were screwball inside. And if you're a pitcher throwing a screwball and you get a right-handed batter to hit it to the right side of the field, that means it's spinning good on their hands. They're not able to get their barrel out in front. And then a good job by first baseman Calamuso to kind of gobble that up and keep it in front after it was hit off the handle.
Just kind of vacuumed it off the dirt. Reagan Hudson looks at strike 1. Heading towards center and dropping down in right center. So Hudson aboard for Oregon.
And Hudson doing a good job of staying inside the ball. Sometimes when you can't get your barrel out enough to get to the inside pitch, your only other option is staying inside of it. So therefore your hands are inside and your barrel can go the opposite direction. So Hudson maybe a little bit late against Maddie Locke, but doing a great job of staying inside.
Swing and miss by Scylla Munoz. 3 batters faced, 3 first pitch strikes dealt by Locke. Hudson at first. The 0-1. Down quickly, 0-2. Hermiston Little League swept through the Oregon State tournament. Needed 4 games to take care of business, and they outscored their opponents 39-3 along the way. No balls, 2 strikes. Outside.
When we asked Riley Christensen, the manager, if they faced any adversity after winning all the games, she said, we still did face adversity. We had to play in some really tight ball games, so although the record shows all wins, they are battle-tested coming into this tournament.
Thinks about it, doesn't go for it, and Locke paints the corner. Strike 3.
That's a good pitch by Locke, spinning it to the outside corner. We've talked about it all tournament long, that on the outside corner, the umpires are giving the pitchers 1 ball off, maybe half a ball off, and the pitchers should utilize that zone, and I think that's exactly what Locke has been doing to start this inning.
Daniela Ramirez-Rosales, who has had some terrific plays at third base, picking up the bat here. Daniela went 0 for 1 yesterday against Montana. Bit high, Harlow Knisely, who has been Maddie's battery mate for 3 seasons, saving that one. A bit more on Daniela. Also plays basketball and volleyball. Opposite field, bouncing into around the 5th row. Al Houghton Stadium. Northern San Bernardino. Place was built 1969. Been the home of the Little League West Regionals for many decades. The 1-2. He's out 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And I may be a little bit biased with it being in California, but what a better place for all these teams to come together to play than in sunny, beautiful California. Great weather all year long, and they've had it already throughout this week. Now this is probably the perfect game when it's kind of get a little bit cooler.
Knisely tries to frame it, does not get the call, and the count goes full. Highs have gotten well into the 90s the first couple days of this tournament. That probably won't change between now and championship day on Thursday. Got her looking. Called strike 3. Back-to-back Ks to finish off the first inning by Locke. Washington, so far so good for them in the early going. They lead 2-0 after 1.
And Maddie Locke went with the rise ball earlier and then went back down in the zone for the strikeout. More emotions from Maddie Locke when we come back.
And Bernardino so far, and certainly Mia Christensen's performance yesterday against Montana, right up there amongst the top.
Yeah, Mia Christensen had herself a day yesterday, spinning it on all sides of the plate, especially the curveball on the outside where she got a lot of her strikeouts. We didn't even have to see her change up very much because of how well that curveball was working. But her coaches said that she has put in the work, and it is showing, and she's always trying to evolve. And this year specifically, she's tried to evolve to the pitches that actually spin rather than relying on the fastball. And I think you can see it's working pretty well for her.
Yeah, had to learn how to spin it this year. Couldn't just rely on just rearing back and just trying to beat you and blowing the ball by you. Had to kind of evolve deep in the toolbox there a bit.
And especially at this age group is when hitters are starting to get a little bit better, pitchers got to get a little bit better. What can you do to improve your game? As a pitcher, it's going from, I know I can hit a location, to can I spin it to hit that location?
Second inning begins with Kaya Ho'olulu at the plate. Kaya thinks about it. Pitch goes over for strike 1. We've reached the part of the day where shadows could play a bit of an effect here, with the pitcher in sunlight and the batter's box in shade.
Yeah, I've played a ton of games, especially my home field at the University of Tennessee. We had a major shadow, and when you're facing an elite pitcher, that definitely plays a factor, especially when they have some velocity. So thinking about going against Colin Pickens, and the ball's light and then the ball's dark and it's right on you. So I think these Washington and Oregon batters going against 2 elite pitchers on both sides are gonna have to use that and really get to their hitting position early to be able to identify the ball sooner.
And the ball's light, then it's dark, and it's, oh, by the way, it's also moving too. A lot for a batter to try to figure out, and not a lot of time. Call strike 3.
You mentioned it coming into this inning. how Mia Christensen worked a lot on the outside corner, but so far in this game, we've seen her utilize that inside corner and really challenge the Washington hitters to get their barrel out in front. The screwball on the inside, just painting it. I love that pitch from Mia Christensen, and I want her to continue to use that because she's already established that she can throw a curveball on the outside.
Brings up Janessa Malone. Janessa doesn't know what her dream job is just yet. Hey, that's cool. That's fine. Got time to figure it out.
But she does know she likes to play a lot of small balls. So you saw her pull out that bunt. You might see her do it again a few times throughout this game.
Off the fist and foul. Down 0-2 in the count here. Snohomish Little League from Snohomish, Washington. About a 45-minute drive northeast of Seattle. And about a 30-minute drive north of Kirkland, Washington, which is home of the Junior League Softball World Series. Hey, I'll be there in a couple weeks. That was a lot of fun. No balls and 2 strikes. Paints the corner. Strike 3. And that is the 3rd consecutive strikeout dealt by Christensen.
And Christensen moved this pitch even further out. I really thought this was a borderline pitch coming in, but the catcher, Priscilla Munoz, behind the plate, did a really good job of working from the outside in to get that call for a strike for her battery mate.
Well, I can honestly say every catcher that I've seen so far in this entire tournament has shown me something. Pitch outside to Lucy Carpenter in her first plate appearance.
I think we've talked a lot about pitching and hitting evolving through the years, but pitchers are evolving and catchers got to catch up to them to be able to make them look as good as they are.
Can Munoz find this one? Yes, indeed. How about that? 3 up, 3 down. Washington goes down in order. Bottom second, straight ahead. Snohomish Little League on top of Hermiston Little League as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. As we have hinted at and discussed slightly, Maddie's mom, Danielle Laurie, one of the true legends in softball. And oh, by the way, she is here in the building. There she is. Danielle, of course, an ESPN colleague. She's got the Dogs cap representing the University of Washington. I'm amazed that we were able to get the abridged version of her resume. I'm amazed we were able to get that all on the screen. We really need to hang out with her for a moment or so before the game today. Piper Dutton swings and misses, no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, we got to talk to Danielle before the game, catching up on how busy she has been this summer. She was at the Women's College World Series for ESPN, AUSL. She's calling later this week. I'm just getting to catch up with her and all that she's doing and all that she's done for this sport.
Yes, indeed.
Players like her are why the Little League World Series and softball in general are highly watched, anticipated, and so fun to be around.
Foul back off the screen. And the count stays at 0-2. Gorgeous Sunday evening in San Bernardino. Just careens, caroms. Foul. Careens. We're not at UCLA. We're going to Abdul-Jabbar on the mind there for a second or 2. Of course, back in those days, he was known as Be All Singer, but that's a whole different story for a different time. Piper Dutton at the plate. Both of her parents are teachers, Kristen and Jason.
And Piper Dutton has worked her way up in this lineup. She started as the 12th batter and is now batting there at the top half.
And it is low and outside for ball 1. Maybe I was trying to say careens. Maybe that's, I don't know.
Kareem's, Kareem, either one.
As long as he's not flying a plane. 1 and 2. There's a Bill Walton and Bob Lanier joke out there somewhere. I just don't have the energy to find it right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Piper Dunton. And Dunn's worked the count full.
These are the at-bats that help you move up in the lineup. Like I mentioned, started as a 12 batter throughout the season and has worked her way up to this top half. And it's because she's battling. Her pitch selection has been excellent throughout this count.
Pitch number 8 of the at-bat, and Dunton coaches the walk.
You can hear the dugout and the stands for Oregon on this at-bat.
Want your child to experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball? Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. Leadoff walk. Brings up Reagan Levy. Swing and a miss. Locke has dealt 6 first pitch strikes to all 6 batters that she has faced so far. Reagan's sister Reese was on last year's Hermiston Little League team that was here in the Northwest region. Outside corner gets the call, 0-2. Reagan's dad, John, was the manager of last year's team. John still coaching on this year's squad. How about that pitch from Maddie Locke?
And that had some wiggle on it on the outside corner. She's really spotting it well with that curveball, but a really good bounce back from the at-bat before. She was up 0-2, then 4 balls in a row to put first base runner on, but this is a bounce back, if I say so. A nice curveball on the outside. It's moving enough that it's freezing the batters there at the plate.
3 strikeouts, all looking. Mia Christensen will try to turn around that trend. Christensen's favorite subject is math. In front of Knisely. Dunton scampers back over to first. Two balls, no strikes. Always love hearing the cheers from the dugout.
And after that walk with the first batter, Piper Dunton, that Oregon team really got on their feet, and you could hear them get a little bit louder, and I think they're trying to ride off that momentum.
So second walk of the inning.
And having played at this level, cheering and the momentum that you can flip just by using your voice is a really big deal at this age. And we talk about it in the dugout all the time. If we can get loud enough, maybe we can also try and get in a pitcher's head, make them throw more balls by the chance that we have. It's just a part of softball, and one of my favorite parts is the cohesion in the dugout and the atmosphere and the energy that you can bring without even stepping on the dirt.
It's part of what makes this sport so much fun and so special to follow. Blakely Noland at the plate for her first time in this game. Bunts it, rolls foul, 0-2. Noland, a big LA Dodgers fan. She's in the right place. Dodger Stadium, about 60 miles west of here. Just head down to 10 and you'll get there eventually.
Eventually, that's exactly what I was going to say. If there's not too much traffic.
If. How about this? No ifs about that. Another strikeout by Locke, her 4th of the evening, and they've all been looking.
And I think the important part is that they have all been looking, because that means she is spinning the ball. The batters are taking it, not thinking it is going to be over the plate. And look at that pitch over the heart of the plate. So she's spinning it enough where that looks like a backdoor curve, in my opinion, that it started looking like a ball and then came back over the plate.
Natalie Rodriguez. First pitch to her goes high. 2 on, 2 out. Natalie, her nickname is Yaya. Says her special talent is drawing. She'd like to draw up a way to either get on base and or drive in a run here. Isley has to get out of her crouch, hangs on to it, and nobody's moving. The 2-1 pitch. Fires that one in there. Maddie Locke can rear back and get well above 50 with a fastball.
And you can tell, based on the takes of Oregon, and when that front foot gets down, that they're a little bit behind. And that's why you're seeing them take, especially a lot of those third pitch strikes.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Couple of walks dealt by Maddie Locke, but she makes up for it by striking out 3. Washington, how do you get to the Little League Softball World Series? Well, here are the steps you need to do. You need to win district, you need to win your section, you need to win your state or your country tournament for the international teams. We're currently in step 4 right now in the regionals. This is a Northwest region matchup you're watching. And then after that, you win all those things, you head to Greenville for the Little League Softball World Series. Well, Washington, boy, did they have an arduous road through their state tournament. They lost to Woodinville in the first game. Maddie Locke threw a 1-hitter, but the team committed 4 errors. They lost that one 2-0. But after that, Washington had to win 7 straight to get here.
Yeah, and when we asked manager Jeff Crawford what was the conversation after that loss that allowed them to continue to battle and make it all the way to win state, he said it almost felt like they didn't know what was ahead of them to begin their journey. So they kind of just came together, locked in, and knew what the task was at hand. But also, a couple years ago, they lost, or the year before, they lost to Win State. So they kind of had a chip on their shoulder coming into the tournament, and I think that first loss really got them in gear and ready for what was ahead.
Ella Bowers, the 10th batter in Washington's order, 10th out of 12. Bowers has a birthday coming up here. She'll turn 12 on July 27th, so you still got some shopping days left. Outside corner called, 1-1. Leah Christensen in the circle. Struggled to touch in the first. Regained her groove in the second. Trying to keep it going here in the third. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bowers.
Christensen's doing a really good job of establishing both sides of the plate. Yesterday we saw her establish the outside, and now she started almost every batter off with that inside part. And it leads to pitches like that and getting strikeouts because she's working both sides. It makes it really hard for hitters to be on time because inside feels faster to your eyes than outside does.
And there she records her 4th strikeout of the evening. Brings up Layla Bailey. No one on the base path, so no harm done. Layla says, be so good, they can't ignore you.
I love that, especially the older you get, when you get to recruiting level, or even when you're in college and you're battling for a spot. It's something all young girls should tell themselves, be so good, the coach is forced to put you on the field.
Yep, they've got no choice but to have you in the mix. John Elway, her favorite athlete. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Bailey Layla's coaches said that she's the quickest on the team. So that's one way to force your coach to put you on the field and put you in the lineup.
Hey, you can't coach speed, can you? 2-2. Teams from Washington State have done well in the Northwest region. Issaquah Little League won this region in 2022, the first year of the Northwest region, and Mill Creek Little League won it last year at the expense of Hermiston in the championship. Got it. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Mia Christensen worked that entire bat on Layla on the inside corner. And then when she went out, Bailey Layla couldn't catch up to it. Just a little bit behind of the ball. But when you're working both sides, it makes it really tough for the batter.
Christensen struck out 5 of the last 6 batters that she has faced. And Hannah Chenier is at the plate.
And Troy, I think we might have another pitcher's duel strikeout. Who can strike out the most batters battle going here today again?
Well, it seems like we've got another one of those kind of games brewing here. And Hannah Chenier swings and misses. She's down quickly, 0-2. Hannah's favorite celebrity is Taylor Swift. Did Tay-Tay do anything this summer of note?
I don't know. I heard a lot of talk about Madison Square Garden shutting down New York City, maybe to get married to some athlete named Travis Kelce, I think.
Okay.
I think.
I might need to look into that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mix it back to the screen.
So if Hannah Chenier has been following T Swift at all on social media, she's had an eventful summer to watch on her phone and also on the field.
Strike 3. And Mia Christensen has gotten it going after Oregon was able to, or actually check that, Washington was able to get 2 on her in the first. Mia Christensen has been in complete control since then.
Mia Christensen picking up where she left off last night, just dealing with the heat on both sides of the plate, getting it done for her team.
Sunset. It has been a well-pitched game so far between Washington and Oregon. Washington leading 2-0, but near identical pitchers' lines here between Maddie Locke and Mia Christensen.
Now look at those strikeout numbers. 5 for Maddie Locke, 6 for Mia Christensen. We talked about it yesterday with Mia Christensen battling to see if Everly Swanson or who was going to have the most strikeouts. And I think we're having that battle again here with Maddie Locke. The only thing that's been a little bit different between the two is Maddie Locke last inning. She put a couple on free bases, but then her bounce back has been impressive after the walks, being able to go right at batters, attack them, and a lot of strikeout lookings against her.
And here's how the last 7 batters have fared against Locke. Strikeout, strikeout, walk, strikeout, walk, strikeout, strikeout. Emery Sewer shows bunt, goes foul.
And when you see those numbers, the strikeouts and the walks, if you're Maddie Locke, if you can remember what you've done in the game, because I know at this age you have that short memory, you got to tell yourself the only person that's really hurt you in a sense has been yourself with the walks, but she is pitching phenomenal. If she can attack every batter the way she does on those strikeouts, she is going to be golden.
Now goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Emery Sewer likes playing against her other friends on different teams, then playing with them again in All-Stars. She's cut it this one, and just been in front of it. 1-2.
That was one of the first changeups lower in the zone that we've seen from Locke. She had one that missed pretty high, but that's a really effective pitch, especially if you got a strike on a batter. They're looking for another strike. No one wants to go down with 2 strikes, so it entices them to swing when it's a change low in the zone.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Backing off, and now back to it. That's another strikeout. Number 6 for Locke.
That's a good pitch. It looks like it runs towards the inside part of the zone, maybe a little bit of a screwball action. Just really feeling the velocity tonight from Maddie Locke in the circle. I mean, Washington has been the last team to start their regional journey. So they've had quite a bit of days to watch other teams and also rest. So Maddie Locke looks like she's well rested on the speed coming in off her pitches.
At the same time, though, I'm pretty sure that they're like, wow, okay, when do we get to play? When do we get to play? Okay, finally. Now the moment is here.
And I think a lot of people might look at it as a benefit to be the last team to start playing, but me personally, as a former player, I think that's one of the harder positions to be in because the momentum and the pressure has built up inside of you. You're so ready to play, and you got to figure out a way to calm down those emotions and figure out how to play and slow your heart rate down, your breathing down, so you can play at your best.
Presley Bissinger at the plate with a 2-1 count on her. Riley, I get the feeling that if you had it your way, you'd come straight from the airport right to the ballpark.
Absolutely.
2-2.
I want no time to think about what I'm doing. I just want to do it.
2-2. And the strikeouts just keep on coming.
And the more Locke pitches that changeup, the more she's able to locate it. I mentioned it in the previous at-bat when she brought it back, that she had missed up in the zone. Last at-bat, she missed down, probably would have been called a ball if the batter didn't swing. And then this one would have been a strike whether or not the batter swung. That was a really good pitch.
Callie Colvin will try to get on base. Show bunt. Tony, the third baseman, was crashing in. Does go over for a called strike one.
And Tawny's gonna stay in against this batter. She is more than halfway in. Now she's really crashing. She's all in. She's not letting this batter beat her in front.
Yeah, she was maybe 10 feet away. Maybe.
Now with 2 strikes, she can play back.
Another strikeout for Maddie Locke. That is 5 in a row. Maddie is locked in. Not a replay from the end of the second, folks. Here are the 3 strikeouts that ended the third.
Maddie Locke did a little bit of everything hard. Then she went, gotta make sure you take advantage of every opportunity. And this was textbook softball. The sacrifice fly in the first inning, as well as this slow blooper to the right side. It looks like these 2 runs could potentially be the difference if it keeps continuing to be the pitcher's duel that we've seen.
Sac fly RBI in E4. That's how Washington scored their 2 runs. But the way that Locke has been pitching, at least to this point anyway, those 2 runs might be enough.
And Troy, we were kind of talking about it during the break, that pitcher's duels. I've played a lot of softball. Oftentimes, when it's that 1-0, 2-0 ball game, it usually happens in the beginning of the game. And I think that's because sometimes it takes some pitchers a little bit of time to settle in. And you saw it yesterday with Mia Christensen. The only run she gave up against Montana was early in the game. And the same thing here with Washington.
So we begin the 4th inning. Top of the order for Washington, Jalea Wright singled and scored the first run of the game. Jalea's favorite athlete, Sis Bates, the former Washington Husky great shortstop, who's now at the Portland Cascade of the AUSL. Down the third base line, and Daniela Ramirez-Rosales continues to do quite well at the hot corner.
And that was also a really good stretch by Piper Dutton there at first base.
The Little League thanks its official sponsors, including Off and Tops Trading Cards, whose support helps create meaningful experiences for communities, volunteers, and young athletes all season. Little League also thanks its dedicated volunteers who make a lasting impact on millions of children worldwide. Pitch well outside to Locke, who walked back in the first inning. Fouled off.
And that foul ball looked like it got a little bit of her mass too. It shows you that that's a pretty good pitch by Mia Christensen, being able to work it that tight and in to entice a batter to swing at something that could potentially hit them.
The 1-1. Bounces, skips past Munoz, but no one on the base paths.
And let's take a look at it again. The foul ball right off the bat into the mask. Doesn't phase Maddie Locke. You didn't even see her flinch. Just got right back into the box, ready for the next pitch.
In foul territory, Munoz gives it a go, but it hits the fence first. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that was a similar pitch on the inside corner. Locke just did a little bit of better job of getting the barrel out in front, but Mia Christensen, that rise ball in the inside corner, that's a pretty deadly pitch. That's a hard pitch for batters to be able to hit forward into the field.
Playable. Levy drifts back, hangs on to it for out number 2.
And Christensen right back on that tight and inside at the hands. Like I mentioned, it's hard to hit that pitch forward. And when I say forward, I mean into the gaps, driving it, not just a little flare of a pop-up.
Brings up JoJo Day. JoJo has 4 siblings, including a 10-month-old sister, Kinsley. Batting from the left side, she throws righty.
We haven't seen too many lefties in the batter's box throughout this tournament, just a select few. And when the pitchers have been getting that right side of the plate a lot, kind of shuts down them being able to go as far into that batter's box.
Outside corner called 1 and 2. Yeah, by my unofficial count, 3 lefties. 3 lefty batters in this entire Northwest region bracket. And only one of them, Piper Dunton, both bats and throws left. So Dunton for Oregon, the only one who's a true lefty in every sense of the word.
And we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but how much of an advantage that could be if you're the only lefty thrower, especially because she's a pitcher in the tournament, just showing something different to all the batters that have only seen righties.
Day waves at it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Softball is returning to Greenville, North Carolina. 2026 AUSL Pro Game, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, set to take place on Wednesday, August 5th. Learn more at littleleague.org/athletes-unlimited. 2 in the top of the first for Washington, and that has been all of the scoring we have seen so far in this one. A border battle between Washington and Oregon takes us to the bottom of the 4th inning, from the top of the Oregon batting order.
On the top of the batting order for Oregon, this is where they got the walk-off yesterday against Montana, and where I know manager Riley Christensen is looking for the team to get something started. But it's a tall task against Maddie Locke. She's been dealing a ton of strikeouts, but she's been very versatile with what pitches she's been using. She's got a strikeout on changeup, rise ball, looks smooth and curve. So you might expect to see a little bit of small ball from Oregon, get something going, take advantage of being able to put the ball in play.
That's Riley Christensen. Meanwhile, Maddie Locke has struck out the last 5 batters that she has faced, and 8 overall. Intriguing to note, the first 4 batters were all looking, the last 4 batters all swinging. Got the fist fouled off. J.J. Ramirez grounded out to first back in the first inning.
She grounded out to first on a pitch that was tight and in. And you can see Locke challenging her again. So what Ramirez needs to do is get the foot down a little bit early so she can start her rotation. And the rotation lets that barrel get out in front, and that's how you hit the ball fair. I think she got that foot down a little bit earlier on that pitch. I know it was a changeup, but every pitch tells you a little bit of something with your timing.
Back to the backstop, 2 and 2.
And that was just about as on time as you could be, especially when you foul ball straight back. That lets you know a lot about what good you're doing.
Two and 2. There's J.J. Ramirez's 2-strike plan here. Watches it. And the count goes full.
And the Oregon fans are on their feet. You can feel the energy. This could be the inning for them with the top of their lineup up.
Third full count by Locke. It will stay that way for the moment. Base is empty. Bottom four, 2-0 Washington. Winner plays Idaho on Tuesday. The other team plays Alaska tomorrow. Goddard looking. Called strike 3.
And the reaction from Locke, I think, is what I love most about this pitch. Oregon fans were standing up. You can feel the energy starting. She goes to that inside pitch. And after the strike is called, the little fist pump, she's feeling it. And that's one way to shut down the momentum of another team. And starting off with the strikeout.
I feel like all that was missing was the stomp a la Marjorie Kennedy there. Reagan Hudson, a single, which to this point of the ball game is Oregon's only base hit of the day. Bunts it down. Well played. Tani was right there on the spot.
And we talked about Tani being really in on a bunt earlier in the game. The third baseman's got to be fearless in this game because of how close you are to the batter. And Tani is as fearless as they come. As soon as a batter has shown bunt, she is crashing in and she is just letting go. Whatever happens, I'm going to be here for the bunt.
Priscilla Munoz at the plate. Yeah, there's got to be a certain sense of self-preservation that you kind of have to throw by the wayside in those situations if you're playing third.
And growing up, I had a ton of coaches tell me, do not let a batter beat you in front. Make them make you move your feet and have to go back, but especially when they show bunt, you're not letting them win.
A couple of big cuts by Priscilla Munoz. She's down in the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Thinks about it, and that's ball 1. They appeal to first base umpire Josiah Spurgeon. That Munoz held up. Munoz broke 2 bones in her left arm during a game in November 24. She had a total of 3 surgeries, had a cast on for 8 weeks, recovered and was good to go by last year's Little League softball season. That ball took a funny bounce away from Locke and allows Munoz to reach.
And immediately Locke is telling her coach she thinks it hit the foot of Munoz. And to my bare eye, that's where I thought the funky movement on the ball came from. So you do wonder if Washington might even try and challenge this. You can hear catcher nicely behind the plate asking the umpire. Now they're going to have a meeting about it, looks like.
In the meantime, we do have a courtesy runner for the moment with Reagan Hudson replacing Priscilla Munoz. The umpires preparing notes and deliberating. Let's show you what we have.
And all the girls on the field are pretty adamant. And this look, to me, it looks like it definitely did hit that front toe after the swing. And you can see manager Jeff Locke slowly making his way out the dugout. I think the girls on the field convinced him during that umpire meeting of what they saw from their angle, and then kind of what we just saw on our replay as well.
Yeah, Jeff Crawford making it official. Like modern technology to have a hand in how things go in this sequence. On the field, single. Let's see if that holds up. Another look from closer in. Does it reveal anything?
This is always a tough review because of how quick it is and how much you got to slow it down. Great work by our camera crew, our replay crew, on getting us these angles. To me, it looks like it hit off the toe in real time. You could tell something, it hit something, whether that was dirt or toe. because of the way it spun, especially once it got close to the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, that ball just took a hard left once it got within Locke's reach. And immediately she popped up and pointed towards home plate.
I love how all of the infielders were looking towards the dugout, telling manager Jeff Crawford, come out, challenge this. We saw it. So I love how passionate they are about this play. I mean, it just shows you that they know that this is going to be a close ball game till the end, and how every single batter, every single pitch matters.
Two 2-0 Washington. All runs scored in the top of the first inning. As of right now, all base hits in this game by both teams were in the first inning, just one apiece. Although, as of right now, it's a single for Munoz, which would be Oregon's second base hit of the day. But will it stand?
Going back to the challenge, to be overturned, it has to be some undeniable evidence. And so I know I mentioned how good our camera crew has shown us these angles, but because it's such a fast play, the pitch coming in, the swing coming off, the ball coming off the bat, makes it tough to change this call. And I think that's probably why it's taking the umpires a little bit longer to be able to figure out what decision they're gonna make.
And by the way, terrific job by our camera crews, our folks staffing, not just this game here, but long, hot days, man. Four games, 90-plus degree temperatures. We certainly appreciate all of everyone's help behind the scenes. It's a fun event, but every time I go back to the hotel, I just pretty much go straight to bed.
Yeah, and we're only doing two out of the 4 games at the field. So like you said, just everyone and all the effort that is put in to have a tournament like this is really, really amazing.
Has the call been overturned? Yes, it has.
And it's moments like this where the anticipation is building and building and building, that you can kind of feel like those decisions can help a team or also hurt a team in their rise to scoring a run.
So Washington with a successful challenge. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Munoz back at the plate. Munoz kind of with a low stance. With the bend at the knees.
It is low, and the rocking, that rhythm helps you with your timing. And every batter's different, but I really like that. It looks like she's locked in. Which, we had a pretty long break waiting for that challenge review. And so both Munoz and Locke being able to lock right back into this at bat.
Beyond Locke to JoJo Day. And the side is retired. The pitcher's duel continues. 2-0 at the end of 4 here in San Bernardino. It's been a fun one. The world comes to Greenville, North Carolina, beginning on August 2nd for the Little League Softball World Series. Who will represent the Northwest region? That's what we're here to find out. Got a few games left to truly decide things, but winner of this one takes a big step closer to Greenville between Washington and Oregon. Pitching has been the name of the game here in this one. As after Washington was able to score twice in the top of the first, neither team has gotten much of anything thanks to Mia Christensen and Maddie Locke.
Yeah, look at those stats. Especially how many pitches they've thrown, but the amount of strikes they've thrown out of those pitches. So Christensen, 42 strikes, and then on the other side of the ball, Locke, she has 36. So a ton of strikes. They're being efficient, they're getting ahead of batters, and then they're staying ahead. And when you're elite and you have strikeout pitches like they do, pitchers pitches as we call them, it's essential that you're getting ahead.
4, 5, 6 batters due up for Washington here, starting with Maddie Tawney. Evens out 1 ball and 1 strike. Tawney with the sac fly RBI to give Washington his first run of the game back in the first inning. Maddie's birthday is May 5th, and that's why she wears number 5.
I wore number 5
okay.
throughout my career, so I love a number 5. No matter the reason why you have it, whether it's your birthday or not, or you just got given the number, I always love the number 5.
2-2. Christensen digging back in the circle. Tries to change. Tawney sends this one to right field. Well, hits right at Blakely Nolan.
And that was a really good piece of hitting by Tawney there. That was a changeup that she was able to drive the opposite way, which is probably one of the hardest things to do. Let a changeup travel even longer. She kept her hands back, but then because it's a changeup and Christensen has been throwing fastballs, she just got Tawney enough out in front that it made for a deep fly ball to Nolan there in right field. Way to get underneath it.
Avery Kalamusa watches the first pitch high and outside. Ball 1. Kalamusa reached on an error that scored JoJo Day. Made it 2-0. That's where the score has been ever since. Fouled off 1-1. Avery says her preferred pregame meal is spicy tater tots. Claims that they help her hit.
You know, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Fouled off 1-2.
Now Spicy, I don't know if I could do Spicy pre-game running around, especially in this heat. But she's a veteran with the Spicy, it sounds like. She knows what works for her.
One ball and 2 strikes. That's strike 3 called. Kalamusa goes down looking.
I sound like a broken record at this point with talking about the outside corner to right-handed batters. Christensen has honestly just taken full control with that curveball. She's trusting in it. And the best part is she's not giving in. It might be half a ball off, and sometimes that's not called, and it's been called throughout this tournament. So she's just continuing to live there. It's an extremely tough pitch to hit for these batters.
And Munoz with a nice job of kind of yanking it back in closer slightly.
You got to be able to hit that outside pitch. It takes a little bit more patience because you got to let it travel longer. And then the older you get, when you face pitchers like Mia Christensen that's spinning it there, you have to wait for it to break, keep that front shoulder closed and drive it to the opposite way. So the best way to think about it is hitting it on the inside part of the front foot, letting it get that deep into your zone.
Harlow Knisley struck out looking to end the first. Harlow's favorite team, UCLA softball. Bruins. What a program they've been over the decades. Some fantastic players. Saw a lot of Rachel Garcia a few years ago.
You still see Rachel Garcia playing for the USL Volts. You see a lot of Bruins in that league. Maya Brady, Bubba Nichols, Ali Carta.
A 1-2 pitch. Touch high, 2-2.
That's a good take. That's been one that's kind of been called a ball some.
The 2-2 pitch. Got her looking on the outside corner. And Christensen has retired 13 in a row. Look at her go.
And Christensen, I don't even know if she knew that was a called strike after she pitched it, but way to trust that outside corner, doing anything she can to keep her team in this ball game.
Another K by Christensen. Warm temperatures here in Southern California. The only thing that has been hotter has been the pitching in this game. Washington with 2 runs in the top of the first inning, and that is literally all they've gotten. Mia Christensen has retired the last 13 batters that she has faced. Oregon hasn't had much to do either. Their lone base hit came back in the first inning as well.
If you are a fan of pitching in this game, this is the game you should be tuning into. I mean, it started last night with Mia Christensen. Oregon versus Montana and Everly Swanson. That was a really good game between the two of them pitching-wise, and then you're seeing another pitcher's duel with Mia Christensen and Maddie Locke. They're just competing out there, and it looks like they just want the ball at all times.
Daniela Ramirez-Rosales struck out looking to end the first. And maybe you go back and start thinking about crucial sequences and might need to put a pin in Priscilla Munoz and what happened to her in the 4th inning, which it appeared that she had gotten on base via an infield single, but later replay overturned the call as Munoz actually fouled it off of her foot. It was initially called a single, but to no avail. Swing and a miss for Rosales, goes down on strikes.
And that was a really big momentum shifter.
That is strikeout number 10 by Madison Locke. The Little League Softball Regionals continue with the Little League Around the Bases, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Live coverage on Monday of every single region from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Here's Piper Dutton. Dutton led off the 2nd inning with a walk. Locke walked 2 batters in that 2nd inning, struck out 3, so no harm done there.
Dutton had one of the best at-bats all night from either side. She really battled from that 0-2 count to take that walk. And we also talked about how Dutton started the season as in the lower part of the lineup. She said she was batting 12, worked her way all the way up. And you can tell based off that bat how great her eyes have been that has helped her move up in the lineup. Softball's all about trusting your eyes and trusting your preparation. And you can tell by that at bat and the one that she's having right now that she's doing exactly that.
2 balls, 1 strike. Slow tapper to 3rd. 2 gone.
Maddie Locke hasn't had to trust her defense that much with as many strikeouts as she had. And sometimes that's tough for a defense when you're kind of not getting as many balls in play. You can start to get on your heels. That was a good job by Tawny to work through that ball to her. I think she thought it was the 3rd out of the inning, actually. Took her mask off, started running towards the dugout.
Now I was watching her and I kind of paused there for a second myself.
I mean, when your pitcher's dealing like Maddie Locke is and striking out as many people, you probably forget how many outs there are sometimes because you're so used to the strikeouts adding outs to the board.
Levy struck out in the 2nd. And down quickly, 0-2 here. Reagan, by the way, says she can cook a medium rare steak to perfection.
She's going to have to teach me because I do not know.
I do. Maddie Locke has been grilling Oregon for much of this game.
I see what you did there. The steak, the grilling, that was pretty good.
I have my moments. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and two.
And I feel like everyone paused a little bit longer on that pitch because these pitchers on both sides have been getting the outside corner 2 balls off. You saw it to end last inning with Mia Christensen.
Bring her up. A strikeout by Maddie Locke. And that is indeed out number 3. We are through 5 innings. Both pitchers have been lights out here in San Bernardino. Washington still with a 2-0 lead, and Locke with the ring up to finish the 5th.
I love this spot by Maddie Locke, and she's just cool, calm, and collected on the mound, willing.
We welcome you back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. We have come to the 6th inning here between Washington and Oregon. Washington with a 2-0 lead, both runs coming in the top of the 1st inning. Riley, how about this? We have not had a single base runner in this game since the bottom of the 2nd.
And it still feels like it's been action-packed, just a ton of pitching. Some great pitching from both sides. You can look at the stats right there. Maddie Locke, 11 Ks. Mia Christensen, 9 Ks. Retired 11 straight batters, retired 13 straight batters. They are dealing in the circle. Mia Christensen, this is back-to-back days of dealing. She just wants her team to do what they did last night and potentially walk it off.
Meanwhile, Washington would like to try to add to its lead somehow. First pitch to Ho'olulu is outside for ball 1.
And if you're Washington, scratching across 1 run right now can be a big difference in how you go into the bottom of the 6th.
The throw over the first is in time for the out. So quickly 1 down. With Janessa Malone coming to the plate.
And Malone, she does backflips after big wins. So if Washington can pull out this win, I'm gonna have my eyes on number 22 and see if she's doing a backflip or 2.
Well, and it's intriguing because Janessa's favorite athlete is Helen Maroulis. She's a 4-time world champion freestyle wrestler. She won Olympic gold in Rio. So Helen Maroulis is Janessa Malone's favorite athlete. That's pretty neat.
I've seen it a few times throughout this weekend already, that a lot of their girls, their favorite athlete is not just softball. A lot of them it is, but a lot of them isn't. And we talked about it throughout the weekend as well, of how many sports all of these girls are playing.
Snared. Dutton gets to the bag.
That was a good swing by Malone, but an even better play by Dutton there at first base. There's its advantages to being a left-handed first baseman, and one of those is having that glove going in that 3-4 hole. She did a great job of staying low and also moving her feet. And then hustling back to the bag for the out. All smiles over there from her. What's better than this? The sun's going down in California, a slight breeze. Summer in California is the absolute best.
First pitch is a call strike to Lucy Carpenter. Carpenter popped up to the catcher to end the 2nd.
Manager Jeff Crawford told us that she's the smallest but most surprising because she's the most fearless on the team. And I love that. A lot of times when you have a small player, you want to say they're small and mighty, and that's exactly what she is.
Backs away from that one, a touch, 2-1. Exhale, and away we go. Two and 2.
Mia Christensen did a really good job. We talked about Carpenter being a little bit smaller, and she missed up earlier in this count and then bringing it back down into the zone. That's a good job of finding the location right at the knees.
By the way, looking ahead for Oregon in the bottom of the 6th, they'll begin with Christensen at the plate. She bats 7th. Fair ball. Throw the first. Got it. Third out of the inning. Mia Christensen has retired 16 in a row. She's done what she can. Now, can she help Oregon extend the game? For Washington, she's retired 11 in a row and has dealt strikeout after strikeout after strikeout.
What I love about Maddie Locke is how she's been able to utilize different pitches on these strikeouts. You saw the changeup, you've seen the screwball. She goes outside for a curve. She's just doing it all in the circle, absolutely dealing. You can see 11 Ks on the night. One of my favorite plays of the game was how she was telling her manager, Jeff Crawford, that a foul ball came off the toe of her batter, and I felt like that was a big momentum shifter in the game. I know she's had a ton of strikeouts, but her just being so passionate about that play shows how locked in she has been and how locked in she continues to be on trying to get this win for her team.
Yeah, that was back in the fourth inning. That could have been a base runner for Oregon with 2 out, but instead ended up being a ground out after the call on the field was reversed. Mia Christensen begins things at the plate. Christensen walked in the second inning. That's the last base runner that Oregon has had. Rolls it foul.
Christensen seeing if she can do a little herself. She's had a phenomenal game in the circle. 2 phenomenal nights back to back. Seeing if back to back her team can walk it off.
Locke has gone 0-2, the 10th time in this game. Pitcher versus pitcher. Oregon needed to walk it off against Montana yesterday. Hoping the magic can extend here into tonight. They've got work to do.
Christensen is doing a really good job of not letting the decision on this outside pitch be to the umpire. She has a little bit of an advantage, though. She's seen how the zone stretches on the mound.
Pulls the string, swing, and a missed strike 3.
I had a feeling Maddie Locke was going to go to that changeup because of how on time Christensen was with that outside pitch. She worked curveball on the outside the entire at-bat, pulls the string, but the location is what makes this pitch special. When you work a changeup low in the zone, it's really hard for a batter to get a barrel on it. Low feels slower to your eye, so if she missed that changeup up, Christensen potentially could have put a barrel on it.
Boy, that was filthy. Blakely Noling now standing in. One ball, no strikes. Inside 2-0.
We've talked about it throughout the game of Maddie Tawney, the third baseman, how far in she's been when Oregon has shown bunt. The previous 2 pitches, she has been crashing without bunt being shown. You're wondering if she's going to do it again.
Only the second 3-0 count by Locke in this one. Now gets on the board here with the strike.
This Oregon crowd, they're trying to get a rally going, starting from the stands. All the parents, the fans, they're on their feet right up against the fence.
That's ball 4.
It looks like they got a little something going with that walk. Very patient at bat by Blakely.
That breaks a streak of 12 consecutive retired by Locke. Tying run at the plate, it's Natalie Rodriguez. Struck out in the second. The plot thickening. The drama tightening. 1-0.
even though there's one base run, it still feels like a pretty tall task for Oregon to not only plate one, but plate two with how well Maddie Locke's been playing and how well her defense behind her has been.
Big swing and a miss there. Rodriguez looked a little crossed up. 1-2. Strike three called. And Washington 1 out away.
That's a really good spot by Locke, working that ball down in the zone, especially when you're ahead of the count, 1-2. You don't want to put anything over the plate, so working that pitch down is what makes it so, honestly, just effective, freezing the batter.
Emery Sealer, who tripled twice during the district tournament. Strike one. Locke has struck out 10 of the 12 Oregon batters in the lineup. He's K 13 overall. And catcher's interference called. Harlow Nisley wants a bit more clarification. And she's talking with home plate umpire PJ Turpin.
You could hear her immediately tell the umpire it did not hit her glove, but when we take a look at it, it's hard to tell once again because of how bang-bang this play is.
Jeff Crawford wants a bit more clarification on things as well. Umpires will get an assist from replay.
Having been a catcher before and been in this situation multiple times, sometimes something looks off with the swing, almost like the glove held it up, and I couldn't really see the swing slow down or anything feel like it was deflected. The bat didn't look like it moved. The umpire obviously has a really good view of it. From the angle, though, it looks like the bat is a couple inches away from the tip of Nisley's glove behind the plate.
Again, catcher's interference was the call on the field. So as of right now, Oregon with runners at first and second. And I believe Oregon, if this all holds up, would have a runner at second for the first time in this game.
This is a really big call that the umpire made and a really big challenge.
Yeah, that should be the second time that Oregon would have a runner advance over to second with the 2 walks that Locke issued back in the second inning. So big sequence here. Team Oregon feeling it. Washington willing to wait it out.
We have had some long reviews throughout this game, so the outfielders, they're getting comfortable out there. They don't know how long this one will take.
Well, the game immediately before ours in the West region between Northern California and Hawaii kind of ended on a funky play where there was a bunt attempt that went foul. That's obviously strike 3, but Hawaii was trying to claim that he was trying to slap at the ball. But that's not reviewable. So the play here apparently is not on the list of the plays that are reviewable. That has been explained to Jeff Crawford. So that gives Oregon runners at first and second with the walk-off run now at the plate. And officially that's scored in E2. With Presley Bissinger at the plate. Bissinger struck out in the third. One and one.
I have to go back to catcher Harlow Knisely behind the plate, or Harlow Knisely behind the plate. Immediately told the umpire that bat did not hit my glove, but to be able to flip the switch and lock right back in to help your battery mate, Matty Locke. That's what's most important. You got to think next play. You got to flush anything that's happened, whether you agree with the call or not. You got to go right after the next batter.
Wild pitch. And now Oregon has two in scoring position.
And that makes a big difference. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. The runners, as soon as the ball's hit, they don't have to hold up. So a ball to the outfield should pretty much easily score both of the runners.
Washington has called time with Jeff Crawford coming out to the circle. Runners at second and at third. There they are. Blakely Noland, the front of your screen. Emery Seawer behind her. And the dialogue between the two continuing on the base paths.
And they're loose. They're having fun on the bases. That's what it's all about, being able to play as loose as possible when the pressure starts to rise.
Three-one pitch. Ball 4. Bases loaded. And drop whatever you're doing and watch this.
Now with bases loaded, 2 outs. Ball in play, runners gonna be on the move everywhere. So if you're the Washington defense, you gotta think, hold your ground, don't let the chaos in front of you speed you up, go for the closest out.
Callie Colvin, the bottom of the order for Oregon. Ball 1 to her. Colvin struck out in the third. Strike 1 called. Oregon won in walk-off fashion last night over Montana, 2-1. Can they do it again here tonight? Washington 1 strike away.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss. That's your ball game. And exhale, Snohomish. Washington survives and beats Oregon 2-0. Washington scored both runs in the top of the first inning. Did not have a base runner the rest of the way. Didn't matter. They advance and will play against Idaho on Tuesday. What a ball game, what a way to wrap up our day here in San Bernardino. There is the winner's bracket with Idaho versus Washington. That'll be the 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time game on Tuesday, while Oregon falls into the elimination bracket, and they will face off against Alaska tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific.